Hello students, this is CIT 1173 C++ class. I'm going to show you in this short video how to use Visual Studio 2012 to do C++ programming, command line applications. I'm Dr. Singhal at Rose State College. Basically, you will start Visual Studio 2012, which is really a purple icon inside which there is a distorted figure of 8 in white, or you can call it donut if you like. I'm going to start that. You won't see how I started this, but once it comes up you will see it. Okay, so icon for Visual Studio is like this. Here it's in black, but on your desktop or in your all programs folder it'll be white inside a purple background, inside this background here actually. Okay, so once you start that, in order to create a C++ program, we create something called a project. The difference between a simple program and a project is a simple program might just contain one source code file. Projects, depending on their size, could contain 5, 10, 100,000 files. Okay, so we always build a project. To build a C++ project, we click on File, New, Project, and then you will see this navigation for the install templates. It is possible that your Visual C++ is right here. If it's not here, if some other language is here, then it will be under the other languages. But in this case, of course, you will see either here or here. But in this case, it's right here, so we'll click on that one. And this is a point of confusion for students for quite a while, for at least for some, that they don't understand that you create only console application. You don't create Win32, you don't create empty project. So no, no, yes. Only thing you want to create is this. And I tell you, if I had a dime for every time a student got confused between these two, I would probably be a millionaire by now. So you only need to build this, not this, not this, not this, not this. So click here, and by default it creates a project in a default folder, which is Documents and Visual Studio 2012 Projects. But we'll show you how to navigate to this folder, so it doesn't really matter where it is on your hard drive. We can easily get to it. So let me do it one more time, because this is very important that you don't create the wrong kind of projects, because you'll be spinning your tail forever. So let me cancel this and just redo it again. So File, New, Project, go to C++, not to C# or Visual Basic, which could be easily done, and then only Win32 console application, not anything else. Okay, and then you can choose a project name. Here I'm just going to call it Hello World, because that's all it's going to print, and click OK. Okay, so looks like I already have a project with the same name, so let's say call it Hello World 2. And that'll be fine. So we're not done yet. You'll see this pop-up box here. We still need to do something called application settings. And in that one, we don't touch anything anywhere, but we just click on empty project. And we just click on finish. Okay. So it's a little slow, because when I make these videos, choose up a lot of RAM. And now you got all these different folders here, but really all you need to focus for the time being is on the source files. We don't really have any source file in there. Source file is the program file in which you type your C++ program. So we right click on that and click add a new item. You can use, once you have a file, you can use the existing item, but since there is no file at this time, click on new item, And notice once again, CPP file only, not a header file. .cpp file is the extension for your source code file. Okay, and you should name it something other than source. It will give you a name called source, but use something else. Let's say hello or something, which is more discernible than just the source, and click add. Now it'll come out with a blank page, just like Microsoft Word. It's not going to do anything for you. Other languages do, but not C++. And here we're going to type some code, and this code will be available to you. By the way, hello CPP showed up right there under source file folder. We don't touch any others, basically. We just use the source file folder only. We need to include few things in order to make sure that we can do some output and input. And we write this directive called number include IOStream. IOStream means that we want to do input and output in this program. So I is for input, O for output, and they're considered like stream of data. So that's why it's called IOStream. So input is a stream of data when we input that. Output is a stream of data coming to the console. Input is the stream of data going from keyboard to the RAM. Okay, and we have a bunch of magic word called using namespace std. We'll explain the meaning of that a little bit later. And then every C++ program should have a function called main, int main, sorry. And since I said int here, it should return an integer. Okay, so between this and this here, we can type our code. Let's see, in a minute I'll show you how to do the line numbers. So line numbers will show up. Actually, this is just as good as any other time. So to show line numbers, we say tools options, and we go to text editor, C and C++, and check mark here, line numbers. That's a very important part, by the way. So now the line numbers are showing up. So basically what I meant to show was that our source code really starts, when we want computer to do something, really we start typing our source code here. And if you type and hit enter key, number of lines, extra lines will become available. And the code is always written after the first line, the signature line, and before the return 0. So this is the space in which we write our code. Okay, so let's say we wanted to tell world that we have learned C++ programming and we want to say hello from C++. So we do something called cout. Cout means output to console. C for console. Output means output to console. And these arrows are outing. These arrows are really pointing towards going out to the left edge of the page. And the other error people make is they mess up these arrows. They make them going the other way, going inside, which is really used for something called cin. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Now I want to say hello from C++. Any message or a string we want to display onto the console is really put inside a pair of quotes. So we say hello, and I better capitalize H, hello from C++ to the world, and then quotes closed. This is very important in programming. You always have things in pairs. Left round brace paired with the right one. Left curly brace paired with the round one. Opening quotes paired with the closing quotes. Here pairing is of just one kind, so this is really not a paired operator. And then we say, okay, that's where I'm going to end my line. So there's something called ENDL. So this pairing principle you should not forget. Left angular bracket, round angular bracket. You don't reverse the sequence that you put the right one first and the left one. Always left and the right. Okay. When our program has no error, I will not see any red lines. Let's say each statement ends with a semicolon. So if I delete that, I see a red line here, although it says expected a semicolon, but it's showing at the wrong place. But really what it means is it expects a semicolon over here. Let's say I forget, instead of 2 output operators I have just 1. That would be an error also, and it says no operator matches these operands. Really what that means is that you forgot 1. Okay. Alright, now there are 2 steps to running the program. First is the compile. Compile program is build solution. So you go to build menu and build solution, and if there are no errors, it will say 1 succeeded, 0 failed, which is the case here. If I had a compile error, it will say 1 failed. Okay. And to run the program, I go under debug and start without debugging, because I'm not debugging. I'm just interested in running my program. So click there, and we got this output to the console. Hello from C++ to the world. Exactly what we wanted to console to have printed. Okay. So this is the command line application for the C++. This message is not from you. This is from the Visual Studio. And if we press enter key, this will close. Now next thing is, you are required to submit your CPP file, and in this class there will always be just one. We won't have more than one file. Possibly we might at the end of the class, but not for quite a while. And you can say, okay, where is this file located? Actually, it's very simple to get the location of the file. You go in this tab here, right click and say open containing folder. And this is the file hello.cpp with 2 plus signs. That's the one you will be submitting for me to grade. Not this folder, not this folder, not this folder, not anything here, but just .cpp file. So please don't make that error. Only thing you need to submit is .cpp file. If you submit this or this, there's nothing for me to look at or click on. It's a total waste of time. This is the only thing we need actually. And you can get the path from like right click and okay, actually you can just click here, just copy that path to upload to D2L and all that. Okay. So I'm going to cancel that because I don't need it right now. So this is how to build a command line application using C++. Alright. So this video is available to you. Watch it as many times as you have to make sure that you learn how to create project correctly. You can pause the video if you have to see it properly. You can go back and forth in the video, and I will be repeating this procedure in the class few times. Hopefully everybody will get it by then. Alright, thank you. I will see you soon in the class. Thanks.